What's up, my crypto legends? In this episode, we are talking about the strongest resistance levels and the strongest support levels that we have inside of this range for Bitcoin to look at the next possible day trade, swing trade opportunity. Make sure to pay attention because these levels are likely going to be respected. We're also taking a look at the S&P 500. It looks like that the stock market S&P 500 is going to get another drop, and we're also going to take a look at the DXY because DXY looks quite bullish, and I'm going to explain why in today's episode, so make sure to stay tuned. Hi there, Andy here. Welcome back to another episode. Before we get started with those major levels that I'm looking for the next day trade to swing trade, I want to let you know that Mexi is the platform that I am using currently. They have an insane bonus of $20,000 with the link in the description, guys. Really easy to sign up. No KYC is required. You get $20,000 worth of bonus. This is the platform that I'm using right now as they do have the lowest fees out there. Now, let's dive in here right away on the next scenarios on Bitcoin. Now, no doubt we've had an insane pump the last few days. Now, the highs from this pump hasn't been tested. So that is very disturbing. Something is telling me that, yes, this could be a kind of a bullish pennant, bullish flag, and we are likely going to come up to hit this high. The question is, how is this high going to be claimed? Because we have massive resistance at that level, which is a weekly naked point of control. This weekly point of control is from the price action created back in May of 2022. We can see this solid move down that we had in May. Well, there's a weekly candle here that has a high volume node, which is exactly at $35,998. Now that level is exactly above the highs right over here, as you can see on the chart. So the question is, are we going to manage to break out successfully on the attempt, or are we going to fail? This is something that we need to be paying attention to. This high over here, which is around about $35,740 on the Bybit chart, if we were to have that successful breakout with a massive amount of volume, very important to read the volume on that movement. If we do get several candlesticks closing above this level here on the 15-minute, on the 1 hourly time frame, then this is going to be a pretty solid breakout. Now that retracement, I expect this high over here to have massive support. Also that weekly naked point of control. So this zone over here is likely to hold as support if we were to have very high volume and close a few 1 hourly candles. Now on the other side, we need to be paying attention for a fake out, okay? Because we love fake outs. They are great trading opportunities, basically a swing failure pattern. If we do hit this high, not manage to close a solid 1 hourly candle, and on the lower time frame, such as the 5-minute, the 15-minute time frame, we are rising and we do get that pretty nasty rejection, getting beneath the weekly naked point of control. Also, this high over here, that is going to be a clear shorting opportunity, in my opinion. This could be a swing trade position, not only to come down back to the lows of this area, even to much lower levels, such as the low $30,000 range. Now, it is one of those trades that you want to get into, obviously managing risk very, very well. I'll be paying close attention with the Legends community on how we are testing this level for that potential short, or possibly to have that long position for continuation to the upside. We very much know if it is going to be a successful breakout or a rejection once we hit that level, guys. That is the level of resistance that I do see here for a potential trade. Now on the other side, what if the price action starts moving down from here? Because yes, we are beneath the value area high of this trading range that was created the last few days, right? We can see right there, we're beneath the point of control, beneath the value area high. So it does look like that we want to come down to the lows of the range. Now the question is, will we successfully break beneath the value area low? We had an attempt in breaking value area high here and failed miserably because there was very low volume, guys. We need a high volume on these breakouts. If we were to test the value area low and this pivot point right over here, and not see any volume, we just have a wick beneath the level, possibly claiming one of these lows right there and having a massive recovery. As soon as the price gets the recovery above the value area low and this low over here, we are likely going to get a significant bounce of a few $100s. That might happen today. It might happen tomorrow. We do not know if we are going to still continue ranging here during the next 24 hours. But those are the levels that I am paying attention here, guys. There is a possibility in hitting this level right over here, the value area low, creating that internal swing failure pattern. On the other side, yes, it could be a successful breakout. Now, we would want to see massive amount of volume, of course, breaking down here to see that follow through to go to $32,000 and potentially even lower. A disturbing level here as well for a swing failure pattern. There's two levels right over here, which is this one right over here. It's the low here from the big dump that we had from the massive pump we had a few days ago. That low and this low over here. They are very technical levels for a liquidity grab. They're possibly going to create a swing failure pattern. So we just need to be paying attention to this level right over here and also the low of the range, because possibly we could hit that level, okay, potentially this one, and create that recovery and come and bounce to the value area low of this trading zone, which would be our take profit zone, and potentially continuation to the downside. That is if we do have very aggressive volume here to the downside. I would be expecting some rejection here at the value area low, which has also been a proven support level. So we're just going to have to be ranging here inside of this zone. If this low is not going to get that bounce here and we are just going to continue to the downside, then this is the next level, the $32,500. Now, this is a May lower high range that we do have. I'm going to explain it right away. Zoom out on the 1 hourly time frame and zoom out here to May of 2022, and we can see the series of lower highs right there. We have bounced at support very nicely from this level. So when I fast forward here and to the 15-minute time frame, we can see that that level that did get a great bounce after the successful breakout with high volume, we can see that this low can also be support because of the May lower high and also create that swing failure pattern, have that liquidity grab potentially, and then get that significant bounce also to have a bounce all the way up to this low over here. That is very likely the kind of scenarios that could happen. So these are the two best lows that I do see here for the price getting a bounce. Now, internally, there is some more levels. We are talking about significant levels in the Legends community. There was also a great scalp that happened today, which was basically hitting the previous day value area low, which was also in confluence from the pivot low to the pivot high. We can see 50% Fibonacci with the previous day value area low, getting that bounce of a few $100s, recognizing that that breakout was failed and we're having a rise, getting a few $100s here for a quick little scalp. Now, if the price does move up from this range, we do have a little bit of a confluence here where we have the daily open and the point of control. We are going to check carefully the reaction at that level because yes, this does look a little bit bearish, right? We're inside of the zone and we're possibly going to aim for these lows right over here, whether that is this one or this one over here and the value area low. We don't know if we're going to successfully move down, but looking at the price action, it does look like that those lows at 33,600 to 33,400 range is likely going to be hit here in the next 24 hours. If that level is hit, we're going to be checking the reaction for a potential bounce like I explained. And if we do rise here, we got the point of control, which is just a few $100s above where we're currently at from this video. And we are going to check that reaction because yes, possibly we are going to follow this downtrend that we have been creating today. Not much more to say here on Bitcoin. Let's dive in straight away here with the S&P 500. It is getting a small little reaction based on a Fibonacci level. When we do take a look at Fibonacci from this pivot low right over here to the pivot high, we can see 50% was broken. We did hold very nicely right over here. When we take a look at Fibonacci from this pivot low to the pivot high, we can see that the 382 is holding very nicely here. We're just sitting exactly at that level, attempting to break down. In my personal opinion, we are going to continue down here to this level here, which is the point of control. Now, the point of control from this entire range that we've had here during the last 2 years is also sitting from this Fibonacci level of this pivot low to the high at the 618. So it's a pretty clear level for a bounce on the stock market S&P. Now, that level is exactly at 4,140 points. If we do get that drop, I would expect a significant bounce from this zone. Overall, doesn't look too good. We have broken successfully the uptrend structure, as you can see here. So the stock market S&P 500 can be looking quite bearish here for the next coming weeks and months. Big resistance, which is this high over here. We are in a downtrend at the moment, so we're going to see if we are going to continue this downtrend and finally collapse or not. Of course, if this were to happen, if we are going to collapse beneath the point of control, guys, it is not going to be looking very good. There's hardly any volume beneath this level. We can see a little bit of a high volume node right there. We could get a significant bounce from here, but overall it will not be looking good for the S&P 500, and I would expect lower levels if we were not to hold here the point of control from the entire price action of the last 2 years. Something to pay attention, guys. If we lose this low, it is likely going to have a significant drop in the next coming weeks and months. Something to talk about the DXY. There is negative correlation here, of course, with Bitcoin. If the DXY has a massive rally for a few weeks and months, of course, that is bearish for Bitcoin. If it has a massive drop, then obviously Bitcoin gets into a pretty significant rally, as we can see here at the beginning of 2023, when we did have this massive drop here, December of 2022 and January of 2023. That was when the Bitcoin price bottomed and entered a huge, massive rally in Q1 of 2023. So if we do take a look at current price action, we are hitting some resistance zones right now. If we do take a look at Fibonacci from the pivot high here that we created on the DXY in September of 2022 to the pivot low bottom, we can see that 50% has rejected perfectly at the $107 range, as you can see right there. So right now, if we were to break above this high, then likely we're going to rise all the way up to the 618, where we could get a small little reaction. These levels are massively respected, okay? Fibonacci, very powerful, currently getting rejected at the 50% Fibonacci, and also these series of lower highs. As you can see right there, this is the level where we are getting that rejection. Something disturbing, looking at lower time frames, we have formed a descending wedge structure here. When we do connect this high and these lower highs and also these lower lows right there, we can see that we've kind of broken out from a descending wedge structure, meaning that we are likely going to pump here in the coming days to the highs and have an attempt in breaking out from this resistance. Now, we could also double top from here, but if we solidly break out here, this is not going to be good. We'll be entering into a huge rally also for the next coming weeks on the DXY, and this is likely not going to be good for Bitcoin if we successfully break out. On the other side, we test the highs and we have a massive double top, okay? That would be the target of the descending wedge. That could possibly be very good for the price of Bitcoin. So very good level to pay attention here, the 106.9 on the DXY, to see if we are going to create that double top. And if it does and we start rejecting, that will obviously be a good sign for Bitcoin, and we could be seeing Bitcoin going to higher levels. Not much more to say, guys. If you want more video updates on lower time frames, on scalping scenarios, check out the Legends trading community, guys. We have the link down below here. It's the third link, Legends trading community, guys, if you want those daily updates and setups. Okay, we talked about a great setup today, nice little scalp here to the upside, and there's also more levels to come. Check out the Legends community, guys. And if you haven't checked this tutorial for Bybit, okay, where you can learn how to trade on Bybit, you also get a great bonus. The link is down below in the description on that tutorial here, as you can see on the screen. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.